Enlightenment is not some super esoteric, complex concept of us becoming something new. Enlightenment is living in the light of who we are, in the light that already exists. For most of us, the light is on, the sun is on, but our curtains are drawn. We're not able to see the light. We're not able to be in the light. We're living in the darkness, praying for light, doing mantras for light, doing Surya Namaskars, sun salutations, the sun should come. But the sun is there. The light is there. It's just that our curtains are drawn. So enlightenment is an opening of our curtains so we can live in that light. What is the darkness? What is it that keeps the curtains drawn? What is it that keeps us from living in the light? It's our own ignorance. That's what the darkness is. The darkness is not some core darkness, some sinful nature, some problem with who we are. No. The core of who we are is light, is infinite, is divinity. The problem is that rather than identifying with that divine core, rather than identifying with the light of who we are, rather than living in the light, we identify with the darkness. We identify with these identities, the dramas of our lives, the stories. This physical body, how old it is, where it's been, what it looks like, what it's learned, what's happened to it, what didn't happen to it that should have happened to it, how it compares with other physical bodies. And when I live with that identity, it's from that my misery stems. Because with this identification with the physical body, with my identification with the mind, I get angry. I covet. I feel jealousy. I feel pain. That's not the light of who I am. That's the darkness of this ignorant identification. If I think I'm just this body, then I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, you're so beautiful. Why aren't I so beautiful? I wish I were so beautiful. Or, God, you've got such a great shawl or a great sweater, a great pocketbook. I wish I had that. And that's where greed and coveting and jealousy comes. Or I look at you and I say, I should have your corner office. I should have your house. I should have your husband. And then we start real competition, real jealousy, real anger. And from that, I act. And when I act fueled by anger, by greed, by ego, by lust, by jealousy, that's when I do things that end up bringing me what I would call bad karma. It's not that God's punishing me. It's not that the universe doesn't like me. It's that I have planted seeds of jealousy, of competition, of anger, of separateness, of lust. And those, therefore, are the trees that are going to grow and the fruits that are going to be present in my life, because those are the seeds I've planted. So that's the darkness. When most of us think of darkness in our life and pain in our life, it's all the stuff we've created. But we've created it due to this ignorance. So enlightenment is living in the light of the truth of who I am, which is whole and complete. Consciousness, love, spirit. So yeah, that's a beautiful sweater. But since you and I are one, whether the sweater is on this form or this form, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a beautiful home. But whether it's housing this form or this form, doesn't matter, we're one. And I realize that that light is within me. But in order to live in the light, I have to remove the darkness. I have to remove that which is not self. If you come home from a hard day at work and you're tired, your body hurts, you take a hot bath. And when you get in the hot bath, the body goes, ah. But in order to have that experience, what do I have to do? Have to take off my clothes. If I get into my bathtub with my suit and tie and my shoes and my hat, I'm not gonna have the experience. And in the same way in my life, in order to have that living in the light experience, I have to remove that which is not light. I have to remove that which is not self. The ego, the false identification, the emotions, the separation, all that ignorance, I have to remove it so that I can live in the light. The light isn't something I'm gonna bring in from outside. It's not that I have to lasso the sun and bring it into my life. The light is here. But my veil of ego, my veil of ignorance is what's blocking me from seeing it. So enlightenment is living in that light and recognizing who I really am. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beautiful Buddhist sage, said, enlightenment is when the wave realizes it is the ocean. It's not that the wave has to go out and find ocean, or that the wave has to do something to become ocean. Do some special course, get some special training, be like the ocean course for the wave. No. Doesn't have to buy ocean clothes or chant the ocean mantra. Just has to realize, oh wait, yeah, I'm in this form of wave, but really who I am is ocean. And when we have that experience, that yes, I'm in a form, but who I am is ocean. Who I am is divinity. Who I am is that consciousness. Then I focus on essence rather than the form in my life and when I see the world. So rather than seeing you as form, I see you as essence. Rather than living as form, living as a CEO, a doctor, a rich person, a poor person, a mail clerk, depressed, an alcoholic, sick, old. All of these ways we identify that give ourselves these labels that make us stuck. And that's true whether it's a good label, a positive label, or a negative label. A cage is a cage whether it's made from iron or gold. I'm the best is the golden cage. I'm the worst is the iron cage. But they're both cages. And enlightenment says, no cage. And so in our meditation practice, we peel back layers and layers of that which is not self. We literally undress to get into that bath. not this, not that, until we reach a state where there's no more layers to peel. We reach a state that in Hinduism is spoken about as everythingness, porn. In Buddhism is spoken about as nothingness, emptiness, shunyata. But ultimately they're talking about the same thing. If I have a jar of air and now my jar breaks, what do I have? Well, you could say I have nothing. I had a jar of air, now my jar has broken, I have nothing left. Or you could realize I have everything. The problem was the jar. The jar was this artificial border and boundary between the air within and the air without. And then when I live in light, I share light. I spread light. I become that source of light for all of those around me. Raman Maharishi said so beautifully, don't worry about correcting others. The sun just shines. The sun doesn't worry about correcting the others. But because the sun shines, automatically, the rest of the world becomes bright. Because of the light of the sun, the rest of the world is bright. It didn't have to stand there and say, now wake up. Now get rid of your darkness. Go, darkness, go. It just had to shine. And that's true for us. When we connect with our light and we live as the light, automatically, that's what we're going to share and spread with the world and reflect onto the world as light. So not only is it my enlightenment, but it's bringing light to others.